You're listening to Parasearch Radio, news, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. Parasearch UK Radio. Parasearch Radio, broadcasting to the UK and beyond.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to Kerry Greenaway and Mark Manley on the Dark Mirror Paranormal Show, only on Parasearch Radio.
Good evening and welcome to the Dark Mirror Paranormal Show. Well, like I say, it started already, and I have the lovely Mark Manley in the studio with me. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening.
And I have the lovely Carl Hutchinson in the studio with me as well. Good evening, Carl.
I can't do the voice that Mark's doing, but good evening, everybody.
I know, he's very husky tonight, isn't he, Carl?
I'll tell you what, I've seen things on Game of Thrones that are more husky, that are less husky than Mark.
Oh my God. I woke up this morning and literally as I did a long drive today, as I was driving, my voice just got deeper and deeper and sorer and sorer. And now I'm like...
To me, it sounds like he's been anal probed to the hill.
No, that would be completely the opposite. I sound like bleeding Lurch at the moment. You know, when Lurch used to come on set and he'd go... Oh.
It just sounds very pornographic is all I'm going to say.
No, that would be... Oh...
Ooh, mate.
Anyway.
There you go.
Anyway, tonight, it could be a bit of a mad show tonight, everybody, because we are talking pure fluff. Pure fluff tonight. We love a bit of fluff on the Dark Mirror Show, as well as all sorts of other things that we love on the Dark Mirror Show. We're talking all things celebrity ghosts.
Dun, dun, dun.
La la.
Celebrity ghost, one of my favourite. Oh, this is going to go mad. And I have already found you an alien. Alien! I can't do it. Oh my God!
Alien! He's in the next room. Everybody can hear him 3 times
alien
now.
link.
We've got alien with an echo.
Yeah, the weird thing about it is I don't need my actual computer on. I can hear you from Cam's over the water, looking over Canvey Island. I can already hear you.
Please. I aim to please. I have found an alien link. I won't go into it yet, but I have found one.
Oh my God, is all I can say. It's been a mad evening already. Because Mark is actually at mine this weekend, everybody. So it's going to be very drunken affair already.
May I just hasten to add my missus is with me as well.
Oh yes, to stop any of the gossip that apparently was being said. For God's sakes. I'm rampant, apparently, everybody. Rampant. Like a rabbit.
I'd just like to say I'm in my own house alone in Kent.
I would like to say, Kerry, put the peanut butter away, okay?
Anyway, celebrity ghosts. Let's go back to where we can find these celebrities. Are they actually ghosts? Are people just seeing what they want to see through their own belief systems? Are they really haunting these favourite places in the entire wide world? Or are they not?
I think a lot of it is hype to sell rooms.
But of course, it's celebrity culture at its very best.
I kind of disagree with you on that one, Mark.
Really?
Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, as paranormal investigators as we are, we investigate certain locations, and we have certain people that visit, and we investigate certain activity that potentially isn't linked to the building. They could be just visited. So why wouldn't somebody, just because they're a celebrity, hyphen marks in the air, you'll see me doing that if you ever saw me, why wouldn't these people who have associations with certain buildings come and visit now and again?
I do think some of them, yes, but I also think that some of them are when sort of like sales have got low, you know?
Well, yeah, it depends on the locations, really, because some of the locations that some of these celebrity ghosts frequent, you know, is probably an easy.
Well, you're not going to see Marilyn Monroe walking down the road in Watford, are you?
Now,
I don't know.
That would be a sight to be seen, wouldn't it?
No, I believe that only Marilyn only came to the UK once, and she did a film, and then she flew straight back out. But there is a particular place, Ealing Studios, where Marilyn was. You never know; she could be wandering around.
Ealing Studios. We used to live just down the road from there, didn't we?
Yeah, Ealing Studios, potentially. There's so many famous people that did films there or appeared there, and if you ever went there before it sort of changed, there was places for these people to stay. You could have food. It was like a mini complex of where you live. So potentially Marilyn Monroe could have been wandering down Watford High Street.
I did films there in Ealing, but I was young and needed the money, so I'm just not going to go into it.
Yeah, we're going back to we're going back to fluffing now, are we?
I would like to say I doubt it, being in some of the other places she frequented. And if you have a choice, surely you would want to go to some of the more glamorous spots that you frequented.
I'm sorry, Kerry, have you never been to the Ealing Studios out the back, Metro Goldwyn and Patel? They, you know, I've done some different films with them, you know, I tell you, and I still can't look at jelly shots in the same light anymore.
Oh, damn it, I've got jelly shots all set up for tomorrow. Now, Marilyn Monroe, being as we picked on her to start with, I love it. Oh, Marilyn Monroe. She had a lovely Brentwood home.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Yes. Mm-hmm. Brentwood.
Yeah.
Brentwood, a lovely location
I don't think they mean Essex.
California, that's right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not Brentwood in Essex. I'm sure that's
it's one of the suburbs of Los Angeles, and has a famous link because there's a lot of famous living people there, and there's a lot of also crime that happened there. Because Brentwood, you have the O.J. Simpson murders and all that sort of stuff that happened there, and various other.
Hang on, different tangent. O.J. Simpson, do you reckon he did it?
No, hang on. I'm confused already. Why is OJ in the room?
Because that's
unless
Brentwood.
It's with vodka.
No, yeah. Oh. Brentwood in the area was basically when his estranged wife and her current boyfriend got murdered. And obviously OJ got accused of it and got chased down the highway in his Ford Bronco, his white Bronco. And
doing 40 miles an hour. No,
because he was in the back of the car with his best mate driving because he was saying he was going to top himself and all this sort of stuff.
Best mate's going, I can't go over the speed limit, OJ. Just wait. I can't go over the speed limit.
Wait. No, wait.
But it's a famous case. Brentwood and all those areas of Los Angeles, the Hollywood Hills, exactly. They may look glamorous, may look beautiful, but they have some severe dark history.
Well,
do you know the one thing?
There is a lot of dark history out there.
Do you know the one thing?
I put it down to lifestyle.
Not just lifestyle, it's also about people that want to, basically, the ones that went in and did stuff, because there's other links to other famous people that became famous because of the crimes they committed. So the neighbourhood was a haven for celebrities. Back in the day, you couldn't throw 5 pence or 20 cents out your back pocket without knocking on a celebrity's door.
They used to do maps, didn't they? Maps to the stars, and you could buy a map.
I do have, because last time I was in LA, I went on a celebrity celebrity death map tour.
Oh, that's so cool.
which took you to some of the most famous places where celebrities died. So we went to places like the Viper Room. We went to places like the Chateau, whatever, here, where the guy from the Blues Brothers died. We went to all these locations, and basically you went around. You went around in a back of an open top hearse, which is quite cool.
And you just only in America, folks.
That's different.
You do, and you toured these locations.
Do you know what? We drove past a broken down. It was an American hearse, wasn't it? We drove on I kid you not. We drove past on the way down there a broken down American hearse that was being towed by a bunch of New Age travellers in a big camper van.
Really?
Yep. It was brilliant.
It was brilliant. On the motorway, folks. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, let's get back to good old Marilyn in her Brentwood home. That actually got bought to her by her friends, apparently. She didn't buy it herself. Mates bought it. So just saying, everybody, if anyone would like to buy me something, a Brentwood home, and not in the Essex, Brentwood in America, would be very nice. Thank you very much. I love you all.
Brentwood, Essex. Brentwood, Essex. What does an Essex girl use as protection? A bus shelter. Anyway, what were you saying?
I am giving him dirty looks down my camera right now. We'll have less of the Essex jokes. Thank you very much. Anyway, that's where, she was found dead of a
on a bed in a nightie by her maid that came in the next day.
Suicide or not? What do you think?
Not.
Oh, conspiracy. We'll be covering.
I think not.
We'll be covering this at a later date.
What? Oh, Marilyn.
Well, it's about conspiracy theories and all this about the Kennedys and
somebody confessed on their death.
Anyway, before we get into the conspiracy of Marilyn's death, as you say, well, I'm sure we'll go down that rabbit hole one day. She was found dead on the 5th of August 1962 in Los Angeles' home, which is this lovely house that we got bought for her. Now, she's supposed to still haunt this home. Well, if it was brought to you by mates, you wouldn't want to leave it, would you, right?
No.
But it's not the only place. That's not the only place. She also hangs out at the Cabana Room Suite at 246 in the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel.
Well, the Roosevelt Hotel, just to go on to about the Roosevelt Hotel quickly, the Roosevelt Hotel has celebrity hauntings coming out of its old wazoonies.
Yeah, it does.
Because you have the most haunted hotel in America.
For those types. But you've just got the hotel, but you've also got the chateaus as well, which there's these like bungalows surrounding the Roosevelt Hotel. So there's many a celebrity who has passed away in one of those little beauties as well.
This Roosevelt Hotel sounds like the party place to go.
I'll tell you what, it looks amazing.
When we are all rich and famous with this show, as we will be, there is no denying it, we will be one day. I would love for us to go and do a live show from that hotel.
Well, while we're there, we will need to check out the full-length mirror in the hotel lobby and dance in the hotel's ballroom, because you never know, you might be dancing with Marilyn.
There's also mirrors in the hotel ballroom as well, and she's been seen in them.
Wow.
And I believe one of the friends of the show that has been on several times as well, Chris Fleming, has investigated that said hotel when he did the show with Gail Porter, Dead Famous.
Yes.
When they were looking at people. And I know they had some activity in the ballroom, particularly where they were capturing these strange things that were coming through on the mirrors, because obviously it's a mirrored ballroom, and there's particular areas, and they were trying to debunk it. So there is that, but it's not just Marilyn at the Roosevelt.
Go on then, give me another name.
Oh, you name it. You name any famous celebrity, they would have spent time.
Is he haunting the Roosevelt Hotel?
No, I think he's wandering up and down his Neverland Ranch behind TV cameras, if you ever watch.
Don't even get me started on that.
You've got that whole thing. Let's not go on to Jackson. To be truthful,
no.
I have to say, that's one video that caught me out. watch closely for Michael Jackson's ghost. I watched closely and then went, oh! When it come.
Well, it was just somebody walking behind. That could have been anybody.
Oh, clearly I'm talking about a different video.
Yeah,
we don't want to know what video you're talking about.
Hey, just quick word out. Thank you, everybody in the chat room. Good evening. We can see you, so keep those comments coming. Apparently, I am a guy tonight, and at least Marilyn Monroe was dressed, says Gemma. And Richard, no, you're not going to buy me. You're not going to buy me a shed, is all I'm going to say. But I will fill all the Parasearch people on that particular comment.
Hang on, just 1 second. Who's not going to buy you a shed?
Richard Clements. He's not going to be buying me a shed.
Right. Richard Clements, right. For a start, swipe right on Grindr, and secondly, swipe right on Grindr, and thirdly, swipe right on Grindr with 50 shades of grey. Anyway, where were we?
Yes. Anyway, back to celebrity.
Back of the net.
God, mic drop and walk out the room is all I'm saying on that one.
Yeah.
So Roosevelt. Well, who else is at the Roosevelt?
There's a lot of people at the Roosevelt.
Oh, yeah, you name it.
John Belushi.
There.
You were talking about John Belushi.
So Roosevelt is the place to be, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing with the Roosevelt, it was the place to be. Seeing the
Invest your spare change.
Shut up.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
What the heck was that?
I do apologize. My phone decided to play something when it shouldn't have done.
Is it
paranormal? No, that was me with big fingers like sausages.
Hey, ladies, he's single and he's got fingers like sausages.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I drive a Range Rover, ladies.
Oh my God, you two! Carry on.
Is it a sport? Is it
Keep
a sport?
Keep it going, guys. Let's flow with the show.
But yeah,
We're at the Roosevelt Hotel. Come on.
It's got numerous people there because numerous famous people, even down to non-famous people, politicians, people like that. They've all died at the. And they have this, like many a hotel in America. If a death happens, they close the floor down, they clear it up, and next thing the room's back available. Bit like in Vegas. So nobody wants to talk about the deaths. But when it becomes a celebrity or a person of public interest, there's no way they can get away with it. So some of these places at the Roosevelt or the Chateau something or other, which is to the side of the Roosevelt, where John Belushi died after doing
the Chateau Marmont.
Yes.
No, it was a hairy monkey. It's the Chateau Marmont.
But he died there, and various different other people have died there. But you've got these famous people because they spent a lot of time there. A lot of time by the pool. The pool area at the Roosevelt is supposed to be very, very active, where people will be sat there watching, be sunning themselves, having a little cocktail, having a bit of looking at what's going on, and then all of a sudden, out of the corner of the eye, they'll see somebody that's dressed not in normal modern attire that is wandering through or being there. So the whole hotel, because it was a haven for the celebrities, you name it, they had them. You can, I'll tell you what, there's not many back in the day, say Marilyn Monroe era, that didn't frequent or stayed a lot.
She did one of her first photo shoots by that hotel's pool. You know, the famous pictures of her in that swimsuit thing. Yeah, that was done at the Roosevelt Hotel's pool.
Which actually, because it was black and white, was actually a cream swimsuit.
I tell you what, she was gorgeous. I'm sorry, but she was like, I would. Not now, because obviously, God, no. But yeah, I would have done then.
Yeah.
Anyway. Just saying, you know.
Okay. So we've established that one of the spots you need to go hang out if you want to go and find ghosts is the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was the Roosevelt, was that in part something to do with the hotel in American Horror Story?
No.
I'm sure?
I'm not 100% sure, but it's quite distinctive because it has the Roosevelt sign on the roof.
I thought it might have been. And Hotel California.
It reminds me a little bit of when you look at photos of it, particularly at a certain angle. It looks a little bit like the Psycho. Psycho Motel
Bates
House,
Motel.
because of the way the angles are with the high roof and everything like that. But it's obviously not. It's a very, very classy hotel, and very expensive. I would not like to say it was quite expensive when I went for a drink there. It was. I was shocked at what they tried to charge me. That was day
Go on,
three.
go on. What was it? Go on, tell us. Come on.
We're talking 15, 16 years ago, and it was like nearly $22 for my tipple at the particular time. But it was well worth, because it was well worth, because I was in the bar, and the bar, everything at the Roosevelt just oozes history, oozes like opulence, money. And it's an amazing place. It is an amazing place. So anybody that is doing a ghost walk of LA, because obviously there's so many places, that's particularly one of the places you want to go to.
There's another one in the hotel. You might have heard of Montgomery Clift.
Yes.
From Here to Eternity.
The actor.
Yeah, he's supposed to walk the halls up and down on a night floor there. And he's been very active outside his room, which is room number 928 for anybody who's thinking about staying there. So there you go, Montgomery Clift. From Here to Eternity.
He was in the film From Here to Eternity.
The film I just said twice, yes. That'd be yeah.
Anyway, we've put about 20 minutes on this Roosevelt Hotel, so let's move it on.
Carol Lombard as well.
I want to talk about Elvis. He's very famous, is Elvis, apparently.
Yeah, but the problem you got is that you got that also conspiracy theory: is he actually dead?
I know that
or
was
is
fun.
Or is he, as people do believe, the groundskeeper at that's been photoed, and they photoshopped this guy with the beard that was wandering around.
Yes,
but
yes,
fair,
that's right. Yeah,
they did. I when I was looking at this one, right, they did a side by side of Elvis and then this guy, and I had to say it's a little uncanny.
Yeah, but they've never actually got chance to actually interview him, because they've never actually found who this bloke is.
No, but he's dead, so he's not going to be Elvis, is it?
Can I tell you something about Elvis?
Sorry, everybody. Spoiler alert. Elvis is dead.
Can I tell you something?
Is he?
Yes, he's not down the chip shop serving your fish and chips on a Friday night, is he?
No, that's the Daily Sport, and it was Elvis served my fish and chips down in Scarborough, I think it was.
Oh, thank you very much. Can I tell you something about Elvis?
Go on, tell me something amazing about Elvis.
I will. Elvis had a thing for UFOs. Aliens!
Oh, you goddamn it.
Larry Geller, who was Elvis's multitasking spiritual, inverted commas, advisor and hairstylist, he was his spiritual advisor and hairstylist. Thank you very much. Shared telepathic visions with aliens when he was 8 years old, including one featuring a future Elvis in a white jumpsuit. Geller said the pair had also seen bright objects in the sky, hey-ho, while out driving in the desert late at night, and then hovering above Graceland at a later date. An unidentified flying object, aliens, was also allegedly seen hovering in the sky by Vernon Presley when his son was being born. Geller said his father told him he'd gone out to have a cigarette at 2 a.m. before delivery, and when he looked up into the skies above their little shack, he saw the strangest blue light. He knew right then and there that something special was happening. And, yeah. A guy called Reg.
We're playing Ghost Trumps on Elvis now, but there is a reported case that is documented that literally hours after Elvis died, there was a gentleman who was at an airport not far from Gracelands who basically said he checked in a man at Memphis Airport who purchased a one-way ticket to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Reported the man looked like the pop star or the icon. Unknown to him that he had passed away literally hours before, under the name of John Burroughs.
Oh, now there. Why is that relevant, Carl?
Because the man never made the flight.
No, why else is the name relevant?
That was one of his pseudonyms, wasn't it?
Yeah, Elvis used to book into hotels on
Yeah, booked into hotels. So this person who was like an agent at Memphis airport said this gentleman came up, tried to basically book a flight to Buenos Aires, Argentina, and he was basically uncannily like the king himself, used one of his pseudonyms, but never actually made the flight. He was checked in, he was booked in, no luggage, just turned up. He went away, but he never made the flight.
Wow. I should say. Anyway, he hangs out also at the Knickerbocker Hotel.
Which is another famous place.
Another famous place. And apparently room 1016 is supposed to be, or 1016, is supposed to be the room of his, main haunting. And they reckon that room is always cold. The fact that it's north facing, it's got nothing to do with it, right?
No. But I tell you what, he's like most of these celebrity ghosts. They get about. They do get about.
They do.
Yeah,
there's one place because he spends a lot of time in Memphis too.
Yeah, there's a place in downtown.
Do you want to know who another very famous Presley was, or is, that is madly into UFOs? Reginald Presley from the Trogs. He even had his own TV show doing it. There you go. Boom! Aliens.
Well, all I'm saying is we're still on Elvis.
Can I just say, is he dead?
Sorry?
Is he dead?
Yes.
I'll give you that one then.
Jesus,
yes.
Chat room has gone right off on a tangent. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm sure. All I'm saying is don't look in the chat room, guys. Now, there is another story of being top trumping ghosts of Elvis, right?
If we're top trumping, does that mean I can go out and get a blonde nylon wig and put it on and go, hi guys?
If you so desire, I mean, come on, it's like...
Mark, I thought you always travel with a blonde wig.
Oh my God.
That's only at the weekend. Damn it.
Anyway, I'm going to tell you my story on Elvis. I'm going to just talk over them. It involves how he saved the life of a teenage boy from beyond the grave. Now, this is by a guy called he's a doctor, everybody. Dr. Raymond A. Moody Jr. There's a name for you.
There's a name.
There's a name for you. Dr. Moody relates the story of a Georgia police officer named Harold Welch. Welch was the father of 4 sons, but his boy Tony ran away from home with just only $2,000 to try and make it in Los Angeles as an actor. He left behind his room full of Elvis posters and records. Now, Welch was worried about his son one night until Elvis, dressed as a police officer, appeared to Welch and told him that he was concerned over Tony as well. He claimed Tony was running with a bad crowd and on drugs, but that he couldn't personally reach through to the boy. The king pointed out where Tony was staying in LA and gave a description of the place involving a nearby drugstore across the street from a diner. Welch and his family rented a car to try and find Tony, located him in a rundown house near an exact scene where Elvis, dressed as a police officer, had described. The family was tearfully reunited.
Mm-hmm.
See, I top trumped you once.
No,
that crazy story.
You raise it. You raise it with that one. I'm going to go with Elvis's official 82nd birthday a few years ago.
I've got one
where
more.
They celebrated Elvis's birthday at Gracelands. They had a memorial around his gravestone. Photographs were taken. In the background is this gentleman standing there with a beard. And a baseball cap and a Graceland's hoodie and hat. Who had a striking resemblance to the
my God. It was Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage
can look like anyone, I tell you that, man. He's well freaky.
Exactly, but the thing is, I know we jest about it, but yes, this photograph is taken. You can go on. You can go on Google. You can find this photo.
Yeah, no,
and this photo is a gentleman standing at the back, wearing a Graceland's
to be fair,
wearing a Graceland's hat and a body warmer. And Graceland's have admitted that there is nobody that worked at Graceland's that looks like him. But how he is dressed like Graceland's employees.
Dressed like a mariachi, yeah.
And they've basically done face recognition, and they believe it is Elvis. So, if we don't believe in ghosts that haunt places, maybe we have somebody Reginald Perry, who basically decided to fake his death,
Perry.
and then decided that instead of disappearing into oblivion, would actually stay at Graceland and be a groundskeeper and appearing.
Cool.
That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense.
And actually, I'm going to just bring up a little point here. A little sensible Kerry coming into the room right now. Okay, we've said two quite iconic. Oh, iconic! I've already said the word. We've said two words.
Have another glass, love.
Elvis. I know, right? Icon is the word I'm going for there. And king. That's people's perception of Elvis. Right?
It's not people's perception. It was made out by the media.
No, but people, even to this day, adore that man for some weird reason, right? No disrespect to people who love Elvis, right? But, you know, it was okay, you know, great music and all that. But he really had that. I mean, I knew a guy that lived down the road, and his house was like a shrine. I walked in, I was like, okay, Elvis fan, right? Yeah? And people, you know, you only have to look at some of the competitions that go on around the world to this day, Elvis impersonator kind of competitions. There is still so much belief and adoration of this man.
He's still one of the biggest selling artists that make money, because he goes into the Elvis Foundation.
Yeah.
It's run by Priscilla, and she runs the foundation. So she basically has everything to do with Elvis's image rights and this, that, and the other. And they produce music because he's got so much unpublished music. And occasionally people ask, and
she was in The Naked Gun.
She was indeed. Yeah,
yes, Nice Beaver. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, she was 15 when Elvis.
I thought you meant in the film. Then I was going to say.
We're getting on. I'm getting to a serious point here, everybody.
Hang on. Can I just trump you a second whilst we're talking about Elvis? Hang on.
No.
He was a black belt in karate.
I just want to get my goddamn point out.
Well, what you do in your sex life is entirely up to you, love. But we're on the radio, right? So, stay.
Oh my God.
Stay focused. Stay focused.
I'm staying focused. I'm staying goddamn focused, right? If there is that much worship of this person, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that build up to being you know what I mean? It's like almost like the amount of energy that's being put towards this person. Surely that has an impact. People want to see Elvis. They want to believe that he didn't die. They want that. So they're going to see it in everything, right?
Also, that much energy being built up in the place where he was most famous for and was seen all the time, would that not help with conjuring up said personality?
Exactly my point. Belief system. We create it. So surely, you know, if you're that... Your idolation. I don't know what the word is. Somebody help me out here.
Adoration.
Adoration. Thank you. A little bit slurry right now. Yes, almost, Mark. Elvis becomes a deity almost. Well done.
He's not just one of the. You know, at the end of the day, you look at other ones that were idolised and people didn't want to believe that she was. People died and this, that, and the other. But you look at Princess Diana. She was idolised. But nobody ever sees her walking around Sainsbury's.
Princess Diana walking around Sainsbury's.
Or Kensington.
She'd be in Waitrose,
I'll rephrase that. Waitrose in Kensington. Or doing the grounds at Kensington Palace or anything like that.
No,
she was
I
off
have
the
to say, no, but I will say this, right? And this is going to be a little controversial. There is a huge difference between the perception of the British towards their icons and the Americans.
At the end of the day...
I just said that right out loud, right?
No, I agree with you, because at the end of the day...
I'm getting a microphone
hang on, but I agree with you, Kerry, because at the end of the day, the British and the Americans view ghosts is completely different.
Yeah,
Exactly.
very
Right.
different.
You
like the,
look at the TV shows to see that.
Yes,
So
they really build them up, don't they? In fact, I would say 90% of the ghosts we found of celebrities tonight, and I know we're already running out of time on some of the ones we found, but 90% of them are Americans.
Just letting off fireworks. Sorry.
Sorry, any
I'm sat here
banging
and
from
there's a
Richard's end?
fireworks
From
display going
Richard's
out my...
end? Jesus, that's because I'm reading him. From Carl's end, it is actually fireworks, not him getting excited. But there is a huge difference in perception, right? And it's how we view things. So you've got how America, and it's cultural, isn't it? Then how they idolize, they worship, they have that. They haven't got the history that we've got. We have it different in the UK because we have that history, But when you look at things like Anne Boleyn or Henry VIII, or big figures in history, you have the same thing. But we don't
you just
have
said it. You
Princess
just said
Diana
it. You just said it. That's the difference. Is we, and I don't mean it in any disrespectful way to any Americans out there at all. We have a history. We have a rich cultural history. The Americans don't. Because they were founded basically by everybody from all around the world, they have a flag, which is why it's so important to them, because they don't have any prehistory and they don't have any royalty. So they literally have the flag, and they have the Bill of Rights, and they have that thing that everybody else signed. I can't remember what it's called, but that thing.
They have celebrity culture. They're the royalty in America, aren't they? But
yes,
they don't have in America.
Yeah, Kerry, I do agree with you.
But they don't have red rings.
Because the country doesn't have as much history, but they have a different outlook on ghosts anyway to the UK.
They do.
And I think that
it's a demon.
there is that part of celebrity culture, #a demon, but it also looks at other things that they do look at.
A migraine in the eyes.
I will fill you in later, guys. This is a whole discussion that's going on in the background about the migraine thing. It started last night on the PSH radio show. If you didn't listen to that show, go back and listen to that show. I am researching this, is all I can say. Because I actually am proving a point. And you know what Kerry's like when she gets on to proving a goddamn point.
We
right?
know.
Uh-huh.
We know.
And so anyway, I'm sure the migraine in the eye thing will all become clear later when I do a show on it, just to prove a point. And yes, Americans don't use red rings, which Gemma found out on Monday's show when she interviewed Vinnie Vineyard, and got very confused when he was talking about a full-bodied apparition. And she said, did it have a red ring around it? And he was like, what? What? That is. And because of
I get you. Yeah.
And
I was being thick for a minute.
The Americans don't seem to understand that. Anyway, back to topic. I went off on a tangent there, right?
I'll tell you what. This is probably one of the first shows. Kerry's actually gone off more tangent than me and you.
She has, and yet when we did our aliens thing when she was away on holiday, to be fair, we did some damn fine shows, young man. She turned around and said, "Oh, we went off subject. Oh, you got off subject. Hello."
Yeah, but at least we came back on subject without went. Hold on, and it's all about me now talking.
Well, exactly. It's all about, oh my God, Kerry's back in the room. We must.
Yeah. Yeah. But no. I think
just been bitch slapped is all I can say.
I agree with Kerry 100% about. I think it's the culture. I think when it comes to celebrity
they don't have history,
hauntings, I think it's culture. But there are celebrity hauntings in the UK. But it's more historical figures.
Yeah, but to be fair, celebrity hauntings in the UK, is it pre-Derek Acora or afterwards?
Well, Mary loves Dick.
Yeah, see, they're our kind of like, what's the word? Is it heroes? Whereas America is like proper superstar heroes.
Actually, not heroes.
Who's our heroes?
Dick Turpin wasn't a very...
Dick Turpin, I was going to say, not that Daft Punk.
Yeah, but the thing is, when we do investigations, we do like things that you can't.
Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick. So does my ex. Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick. Yeah, I'll go away, mate.
Right. Anyway, so like when you look at our icons of history, yeah, like Anne Boleyn or
Mary Queen of Scots
Henry VIII or Dick Turpin, right?
Dick.
You know, no matter what their history, what the truth was behind that, they're our icons.
Yeah, but are they our celebrities?
Robin Hood. There's another one. Robin Hood.
Because at the end of the day, we're talking about celebrity hauntings. We're not talking about historical hauntings. Because we've covered historical hauntings so many times. We've covered Anne Boleyn. We've covered Henry VIII. We've covered the Witchfinder Generals. But I wouldn't count them as celebrities. Celebrities. No, there isn't, because the show is about celebrity ghost hunting.
No, I don't disagree with you. Oh, he's getting a little bit heated now, right, guys?
Not historical figures that potentially could have.
Ladies, I will stand back and hold your handbags for you. Just be good with it.
No, I'm just making a point. We're talking celebrities, and the definition of a celebrity is not a historical figure.
I don't disagree with that. That is a very valid point. But my point is, we don't build our celebrities up to the level that the Americans do.
Do you see that?
I don't disagree with that. When I was researching this,
I think all celebrities are made
were American
That's how they get the
celebrities.
name celebrity. You could be a celebrity for 15 minutes. You could be off Love Island. You could be off this, that, and the other in the UK.
Don't get me started about those.
Jodie Marsh and Jordan.
Joey Essex.
Oh my God. What do they do? They wore a belt as a bra, and one got their baps out. Are they a celebrity?
They're not, because there are levels.
But I'm not.
No. You're missing the point. You're talking Z-listers. We're talking superstar A-listers. Now, there's a couple from the UK that I found. Amy Winehouse was one, right? She is supposed to haunt Pete Doherty. But Pete Doherty himself is faced on drugs. How the hell would he know? I mean, God, you know.
You just said she's supposed to haunt Pete Doherty.
Yeah, all right. Well, what's wrong with that? He's absolutely off his face.
So Pete Doherty's going around saying, "Oh no, guys, I've got Amy Winehouse in me again."
Well, not in him, but haunting him. But he's supposed to have fled to Paris because of these spiritual visits.
Yeah, we all know what Pete Doherty is because
I saw him in concert once, right? And he literally was that off his face, he could barely bloody walk.
In it,
right? Yeah. Now, Amy.
Her dad's lovely. I've met him.
Unfortunately, died of alcohol poisoning in 2011, and she is part of the infamous 27 Club, which we've talked about on Parasearch Radio, right? But Pete Doherty, apparently close friend of Winehouse and a former member of the Libertines, was convinced that she was haunting his flat, and he fled to Paris. Of all the places to go, right? He went to Paris, Paris.
Oh, the man's idiot.
Yeah. So, but as I say, the 90% of the ghosts I found were actually American, and I have to say, I think it's down to culture.
May I just explain to everybody in the chat room and everybody else who's listening to us? For those of you who don't know about the 27 Club, basically the 27 Club is lots of famous people died at the age of 27. So if you died at the age of 27, you make it into the 27 Club. And there you go. He says with the incredibly deep voice.
He's getting deeper by the minute. Anyway, John Lennon. Right, John Lennon
but there's
is
one thing.
To be.
One
but
thing.
That's not in the UK. He doesn't haunt the UK, old John Lennon. He haunts his... Oh, I'm going proper Essex now. I know, I'm going...
You did.
Oh,
in it, mate.
He don't haunt in the UK. He haunts down in New York, doesn't he?
Where he was shot.
Can you imagine John Lennon with an Essex accent trying to sing Imagine?
Well,
wow.
He was a strong Liverpudlian, so
Imagine
didn't sing it
no heaven in it.
No, but what I'm trying to say...
I'm actually doing it in my head right now.
Carl, it's just give up, mate. She's gone. Just
No. Carry on. Sorry, Carl.
My point of view is that because of the culture, they're more open to it. We are very closed in the UK on this whole aspect of it.
We are very depressed.
Cynical? in regards to celebrity culture?
Well, celebrity, cynical, whatever you want to call it. I think we are very close to it. And at the end of the day, this is something that we've discussed on the network, on various different shows and various different nights, that there is a big difference between the American culture and the UK culture. And I think that is the key point. Is I tell you what, Leeds Castle are having one hell of a firework display going on at the moment.
Hey, party at Leeds Castle, everybody, let's go.
We just came from up there.
I have no idea who's on tonight, but they are giving one hell of a firework display at the moment. But no, I'm just saying about the culture. I think the culture is is a very key thing about the whole aspect. What we're talking about is how they're open to it, and we're pretty much closed because we're thinking, but I'm
sorry, you sounded like you came from Hull. Then can you say that again?
I've never. Well, I have been to Hull.
Can you say no instead of no? Can you sound like? There you go. You come from Hull, right?
Excuse me, I didn't say no.
Can you say no? Can you say, Carl? Can you instead of saying no, say moo, but with an N in front? So no.
I'm from Yorkshire, so I go no.
No, say no.
No, I'm not. I'm not a performing monkey.
Okay. Neither are ghosts. We're going to go back to... So,
high five.
Okay. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Right, so... Jim Morrison, right? Whilst we're on
Paris.
the 27 Club, right?
Paris.
Yep.
He's in Paris. Yeah, Pete Doherty link here, right there. See how I linked those two things together? He is another member of the 27 Club. Right,
Together.
I know, right?
Innit,
I'm like getting dead normal,
In
right?
it. In
I know. This is how I talk.
How do you know when an
every
S?
day. This
Hang
is
on,
my posh radio voice, and then I go
Kerry.
like proper Essex, like
Kerry,
What?
Kerry, you know I'm going off on a tangent just for a brief second. How do you know when an Essex girl's had an orgasm? She drops her bag of chips. Carry on.
Either that or she closes the car door.
He made me swear on air. I apologise. I'm so
I think we
sorry,
glossed over
everybody.
I think we glossed over
But no,
my
Jim
God.
Morrison. Yeah, Jim Morrison.
Yes, died in a
Paris.
bathtub in
Graveyard.
Paris in 1971. Believed to be a drug overdose. I say believed to be. I would
Died
say
in
it's
his
a
bath?
definite. Died
in his bath.
He did in bath
In a Paris hotel.
in a Paris hotel.
But
But-
his ghost hasn't been seen in that hotel.
No.
It's been seen via its gravestones, and there's numerous things on YouTube and whatever where there's pictures of people standing in front of Jim Morrison's grave, and there's this strange figure behind it.
Or orb.
Orb. But not all, there is orbs. Yeah, well, we all know what orbs
Did
are.
somebody say orbs? I love orbs. My missus has got nice orbs.
But it's also been seen in Los Angeles, in the Mexico restaurant Barra, wherever the hell that is.
A
In a
what?
bathroom, of all places. I mean, God, if you're going to haunt somewhere, why would you freaking well haunt a bathroom?
Do you know what? Do you know what?
Get,
I've got to say.
Get this.
Hang on. If I was a celebrity and I died, do you know where I would haunt?
Where?
Ann Summers in the vibrator department. Oh my God. Do you know what? So many people. I came with Elvis. Yeah, you did, love.
Oh my God.
Drops mic, exit
Carl?
stage left.
If you was a ghost, where would you haunt? Carl?
Carl?
Yes.
Oh,
There you
if you was a celebrity, where would you haunt?
I'm just haunting my own house.
If you were a celebrity, where would you haunt, Carl?
I think, and I believe this 100%, I would haunt somewhere that was that was special to me.
Ann Summers.
Which is?
I don't know. I've never really thought about where I want to, when I die, where I want to haunt, because I don't
Where's your
really want
favourite
to
pub?
die.
Where's your favourite pub?
Oh, there's too many to mention. I'll be.
I know where you'd haunt. The Jack Daniels Distillery.
What, in Lynchburg, Tennessee?
Yes.
Been there. I've been there a couple of times. No, I wouldn't want to haunt there.
No.
Captain
Ireland.
Morgan's.
The place in Ireland.
No.
No? Where would you haunt?
I don't know. If I was going to haunt anywhere, I think I would haunt my friends.
I love the way Ashley's just commented and deleted it because he thought it went too far. Ashley knew he best just deleted a goddamn comment because he thought it even went too far.
Hang on. Whoa. Gary, tell me what Mr. Nib, Mr. so-called professor, and his all-seeing, all-eye mentality. What did he do?
He actually misquoted himself. He actually went, Anne Summers' thong that...
Oh, did you hear where I said I
wouldn't
and then
want
he
to...
put Anne Summers' thing. That is laugh out loud.
I wouldn't want to haunt an Anne Summers thong. That would be too close to the crack.
Close to the knuckle?
No, I would say too close to the crack.
Honestly, anybody, if you have not joined the Parasearch Radio group chat, you so need to. All you have to do is click the icon at the little bottom. There's a little speech bubble. Click on that. It takes you into the chat room. And trust me, if you aren't doing that, you are missing half the conversation because there is so much going on in the chat room tonight. It is untrue. The side chat of this show is absolutely keeping me in hysterics is all I'm going to say. So, anyway, back to celebrity ghosts.
Says Carrie trying to act like the straight one, and yet she's dying with laughter. Carry on.
Absolutely wetting myself tonight. So, okay, let's go serious. Harry Houdini. Let's talk about Houdini, right? Now, he was an absolutely phenomenal character in the field, in his own right?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, Harry Houdini could escape from anything. Didn't escape that, did he? Yeah, I would. If I was famous, I would haunt Anne Summers' vibrator department. Because who knows going to walk in there and going to buy one? You could have the Queen walk in there, send one of her cohorts in there to buy one.
I don't think the Queen is going to walk in there.
And literally, whoever the really famous person is that's just bought himself a rampant rabbit, as they got to the vinegar stroke, I would appear out the tip of it like a genie and go, ha ha ha, surprise! Totally put them off it. Ruin the moment.
I'm sorry. I just have to interject slightly, not like a rampant rabbit, but I would just like to interject slightly. I'm sorry. The Queen buying a rampant rabbit or getting one of them, in your words, cohorts to go in and buy it. No, come on.
Philip,
I don't mind going down certain rabbit holes, but I'm not going down that one that's been sealed over for a while.
Should we just talk about Harry? Should we talk about Harry Houdini?
Yeah, please. Yeah, let's move on to Harry.
Let's move on to Harry. Harry
Before
Houdini.
we get knocked on the door and there's government aid.
Before we get taken off air for obscenity and disrespect and God knows what else like we've done tonight. He actually died of a ruptured appendix on October the 31st, 1926, right?
Had a very, very bad masturbation problem, that's why.
Really? Anyway, he is supposed to haunt the premises of Jackie Gorgon.
Was that the house that actually produced and designed most of his tricks?
No,
it's a hotel.
It's a hotel in Las
Jackie
Vegas.
Gowen's Plaza.
Oh, okay,
Hotel.
sorry, I thought it was. For some reason, I had this in the back of my head. I don't know. I haven't got my Houdini because you've just gone completely on to off topic.
When you're in Vegas, I want you and Sam to go and check this out because Jackie Gorgon or whatever his name is, Plaza Hotel in Las Vegas. Right now, they do a Houdini tribute magic show that's still hosted. I want you to go to that.
No,
don't fancy that.
Oh, yeah.
But you might see a ghost, right? Because
I might see go. I can guarantee 100, and Sam will probably agree with this. We'll be seeing our own spirits.
I'm sure you will, but while you're seeing your own spirits, then I need you to go to this hotel to check this out.
Carrie, that was a badumts moment.
I know. I glossed.
Are you glossing over it?
I'm glossing. I'm now glossing because we are 6 minutes. We've got 6 minutes to go, and we haven't covered half of what we've.
We can carry it. So you're being a glosser, are you?
I'm glossing.
Yes.
Anyway, oh my God.
Is the hotel still standing?
Well, apparently so, because many of the hotel staff members believe the ghost haunts the
hotel
dressing rooms. I bet it's in the right downtown part of Las Vegas. Jackie Gorgon's Plaza Hotel.
See, that sounds like something from Jason and the Argonauts.
It might well be. I reckon it's downtown Las Vegas.
Downtown, that sounded sensual,
I
Kerry.
kind of want to burst into song at that moment.
Jackie.
Downtown. Yeah.
Where all the lights are bright.
Hey ho,
Anyway,
I'm
he
Elvis
moved-
hairstyler.
This isn't
What?
just a haunting. This isn't just like, weird stuff. He moves objects.
Weird
He
stuff.
moves
You're on a Dark
items.
Mirror show.
Well, yeah, this is true, but and he hangs around. Old Houdini.
Literally. He likes to be hanging around.
He does.
Normally
hang
by
around.
his feet.
He
He had a strange obsession with chains and padlocks.
The thing is, he makes sure. Apparently, the belief system is that he believes he hangs around to make sure even that the magic show is actually up to his standards.
It's got nothing to do with he didn't want anybody else to die the same way he did from just because there's a lot of things that say he didn't die from what he was supposed to die of. There's a lot of things saying he died testing this and he died testing that and he died testing an atomic rabbit. I don't know, but there's. It's like the what's his name? Prince. Remember Prince, the singer?
Who can forget
Who died
Prince
in
the
his sleep?
singer? Do you remember Prince the singer? Yes, who can
Do
forget
you
Prince
know
the singer?
how many people out there, and I'm not talking about all the conspiracy theories, I'm just talking about the one main conspiracy theory where basically half the world's population has gone. Nobody saw any photos of his funeral. Nobody saw any of this. Nobody saw anything on that apart from the old
Is this
little
another
tiny.
conspiracy?
Shh. All will be revealed, my pet. Shush. And it was all about he'd had enough of the limelight. He'd had enough of being in the public eye, and he went, "Do you know what? I'm going to fake my death. I'm going to transfer everything over to
It
my
worked
sister."
for Elvis.
Yeah, I'm going to transfer everything over. Thank you very much. Transfer everything over to my sister, who's not my sister. It's actually me in a kilt.
For God's sakes, where do you find this stuff? Anyway, Carl, all I'm saying is Sam is up for that. Sam is all over that when she goes to Las Vegas.
Okay,
I'm
well,
loving Sam.
Okay. So if Sam's listening, and I'm guaranteed she is,
Yep, she is.
where it is, because I've never heard of the bloody hotel, and I've heard of most places in Vegas. I've never heard of this Gary.
I'm probably sending you to the seediest, horriblest
Exactly.
part of Las Vegas.
Jackie,
I've heard of
I've
I've heard of the Plaza Hotel. I've heard of the Plaza Hotel.
Jackie Goins Hotel in Las Vegas. Jackie Goins Hotel. It's a Plaza Hotel.
Plaza Hotel, which doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, well, what is it now then?
I don't think they've actually built on the land yet.
Is there still a bit of land there?
Of the land.
There you go. Get a metal detector out.
Hey, and there you go.
Hang on.
Get the room.
Just go. Plaza Hotel. Plaza Hotel does still exist. Sorry, it does still exist.
There you go, right?
Different
Boom.
name now.
Right, we need to get a
Oh,
license.
it's in downtown Vegas.
I love going downtown. Oh,
Going downtown, where all
I think
the lights are bright.
okay.
Down.
I think we all mean going downtown in a totally different way from anybody else.
That's where all... No, I can't say that.
No.
Okay, well, if
I
Sam
love the way
arranges it,
Sam
we'll
is
go.
on this. She's actually going away and researching this right now. She's like looking it up.
We need the Dark Mirror Show needs a sponsor to send us out there to all these famous places in America, and we will do a live show from all these places, all of us, all three of us.
You know what? We have gone through how many shows about the Winnipeg? We've had the Winnipeg road trip.
Yeah,
that
you need
Mark
to
has been
include
talking
as
about
well.
for like years now. Actually, I think
The Winnebago road trip.
the Winnebago road trip, right?
Did she just say Winnipeg?
She
We're
did
not
say
going to bloody Australia. We're going to North America and doing the
Winnipeg's
paranormal
Canada.
highway.
No, the
about
big
it.
camper van thing that people drive and
Winnebago.
Winnipeg's Canada, Mark.
Sorry?
Winnipeg's Canada.
Well, whatever.
Different country. I was
you
almost
kind of
right.
knew what I meant, and we've gone so many shows without him mentioning it. And tonight, on the 17th of May, 2019, he brings it back into the room.
Because we deserve to be acclaimed.
Anyway, any more celebrity wandies wandering around various different places?
Are we going to overrun? Because
Yeah,
we're
we
1
might as
minute
well
till
do it.
10 p.m.
Yeah, we might as well carry on. Hey, it's the Dark Mirror Show. We can do what we like.
Al Capone.
Hold on, let me just run that past the
Alcatraz.
boss. Hold on. I just run that past the boss. Can we overrun?
Ladies and gentlemen, what you
why
can't we know it looks like she just dialed up God and said, "Is that all right, mate?"
I've got a God complex going on right now.
Yeah, we know that. We bloody know that. Oh God.
Oh my God.
You're there going, oh. That's the best I can do with that voice.
Oh my God, Kerry. Anyway, where are we? What are we doing? What are we talking about now?
We were discussing Richard Clement's Grindr profile.
No, we're not. We're going to do that afterwards. We're going to break that down and party with that one. Trust me. That's
Al
gonna be fun.
Capone for the third time.
Bonnie. Let's talk about Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde. I thought we were doing Al Capone.
We were doing
sorry.
Al Capone.
Right, we'll do Al Capone first. Go on then, quickly.
No. It's okay. You just pee on my parade. You carry
Al
on.
Capone. Are we talking Al Capone or are we talking Bonnie and Clyde?
Al Capone.
Right, let's go Al first. Go Al.
Al Capone. Well, Al Capone's famous, obviously being a Chicago gangster. He had many a little running with the American penal system. But he's famous. Penal. I said penal.
Oh.
I said penal system. Nothing else. But his famous thing is he is allegedly seen haunting his cell block or his cell.
That's right.
And Alcatraz.
And what else?
And
Did he ever play the banjo?
Pardon?
Well, banjo music apparently plays out of his cell at Alcatraz. So did he actually? Is it historical fact that Al Capone could play the banjo?
I don't know, but I know there is an old style weapon player in Al Capone's cell at Alcatraz, because the cell is set up like no other cell at Alcatraz. It's got sofas, it's got a nice bed, record player.
Do you know what Al Capone actually died of in the end?
Lack of breath.
No, caused by
lack of breath.
You are such a tit. You are really. You're just a nipple. Right. Al Capone died because of syphilis. He eventually went nuts.
You're making me cough.
The syphilis got so bad it got to his head and he went nuts. And it was syphilis he died of. Yeah.
Who, Al Capone?
There's quite a few famous.
He died of syphilis. Yeah.
There's quite a few famous people that died of syphilis.
Exactly.
Dirty bastards, they are.
And it was rife.
Yeah, but Al Capone, Alcatraz famous. His cell, they hear music. There is a record player in there.
Can you imagine Al Capone actually sat there with a banjo going, you know what? I'm going to do this.
I'm pretty sure that Al Capone never played banjo.
I'm quite sure.
It's just what, really? Then
you
kind of go, really?
Because it could be the record player.
You spin me right round, baby, right round. He died as well, didn't he?
Hearing music playing through the record player that you hear.
If you can hear music playing through the record player, yes, generally as a rule, you can.
Can I just rewind on this one? So we have a mob boss listening to banjo music whilst he's in a cell in Alcatraz. How ridiculous does that sound to everybody?
Yeah, but how ridiculous it might sound, but how do we know it's not true?
Ding, 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 ding.
No. Now you're turning it ridiculous by pretending it's the theme tune out of Deliverance. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, squeal like a pig. And all that sort of
mouth, boy.
Yeah, you got a pretty mouth.
Anyway, right, because... Oh my God, everybody! I'm so sorry we're overrunning, and it's even more ridiculous than it was before in the show. But being as we're on, ding, 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 ding. Let's talk about Bonnie and Clyde.
Go on then.
Go on, here's with Bonnie and Clyde.
I can't find it.
Yeah, like Bell and Jay, the tourists and dead. Bonnie and Clyde are on the run and reveal the glory days, tracking down their old stuff all over the USA. Visitors to the site where the pair were gunned down in Louisiana have seen the famous orbs in photos taken around the place. And there is the vehicle, the Ford V8, which is on display in a museum, which often when they take photos, there is strange mists and shadows near it. And also, there is a place in Texas, the Baker Hotel, which Bonnie is supposed to haunt the lobby area because she was waiting for Clyde to turn up.
Uh-huh.
Strange mists.
Strange but true.
Was it cold and somebody had a curry?
Or did someone have a vape machine?
Oh my God, we get it, you vape. Oh God.
Oh my
Right.
God, it's like vaping.
Imagine that back in their time, some idiots driven by with their window down, and basically a cumulonimbus comes out of their car, and they've gone, do you know what? We get it, you vape. We need that law now. Ugh.
Well,
Anyway.
what's interesting...
Well, really?
Hold on, rewind, everybody. So, out of everything we've spoken about tonight, there's a common theme that keeps coming up. And
America?
I can say this, Kerry. I can say this. I've got it in my head. They're all dead.
Apart from that...
Oh.
Oh.
Wow. I've got one more for you before you do this. Jean Harlow, the original blonde bombshell. She was gorgeous, and that's where the term blonde bombshell was made for Jean Harlow.
Yeah,
It's like the term Bristol for women's lady bits up top. That comes from the Bristol bomber from Second World War because the engine stuck out of the front. It was twin engine.
As we say in Essex, she will fit.
Now, have you say in Essex, it's like,
She will fit. Or lit.
she's well
lit.
fit, bruv, isn't it?
She's
She's
lit.
That blinking, yeah.
Okay. Can anybody that's listening tonight, please send help to me? Because I've got to spend the night tomorrow night with these people. Please send help. I will accept anything. Yeah, please just, I'm going to be kidnapped
by ritual
tomorrow
method
night.
With a big litre and a half bottle of JD stuck in the middle of it. Right?
Exactly.
Candles around the outside.
Anybody
Inverted pentagram.
Anybody listening?
Manifestation ritual.
Please get in the chat room and message me now for your...
I have brought the gimp mask and that tub of pig lard that you wanted me to.
That's fine.
Oh, bless her. Oh, sorry. Bless Sam. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway.
Shout out to Sam. She's in the background doing some work. I love
Sam's
that girl.
You look gorgeous.
Okay, going back to the blonde bombshell, Mark, Jean Harlow.
Go on, Jean. Go for Jean.
Jean Harlow originally died of kidney failure on June the 7th, which is 11 days before my birthday, in 1937. And for those of you who don't know who Jean Harlow was, she was like an old black and white movies.
She's quite fit in these pictures.
She was stunning. She was she wasn't a skinny little thing that you put your arm around and slap your own face because she's so skinny. She was a proper, blonde bombshell.
No, it's the eyes. It's completely the eyes. Looking at the photo, I would with the eyes.
Eyes, girls. It's all in the eyes. Don't matter what you're packing. It's in the eyes.
Look at the eyes. Not around the eyes. Around those. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, no. Going back to a haunting. Go on, Mum.
Anyway, yeah. She basically died 1937, and it appears that Harlow had some unfinished business to attend to. As she was reportedly beaten viciously by her then husband Paul Byrne, who was an MGM studio executive. And back then, what you've got to remember, MGM, Pathé, all that lot, the bigwigs, you dirty bugger. The bigwigs used to. They weren't very nice to their stars, and they weren't very nice to their stars because of the contracts that were written in.
Well, this particular MGM exec was allegedly shot her as well. Not just beat her, shot her.
If you're going to do something, you don't do anything by halves, right, guys?
Anyway, as I was saying, Paul Byrne later killed himself in their home because he cohabited and shared a house with her. But Harlow stuck around after she died of kidney failure. But the legend about him shooting her coincides with the kidney failure because he was supposed to have shot her in the back, in the lower back, which, as we know, that's where the kidneys are. So, but apparently she stayed in that house and still haunts it to this day. And you can still smell her perfume. And you can still hear sobs coming from that place in certain areas. Please help me.
Yeah.
But
somebody needs to go in there and help her.
But all I'm saying is Byrne actually committed suicide in that home too. So
who did?
The man.
The man.
But they never hear him.
Burn.
They only hear her.
Do you mean Mr. Byrne?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Anyway, on that note, we are 10 minutes over, and I'm sure some of these topics, like Elvis and Marilyn, will be revisited at some point in the future. That's all I'm going to say for now. So we are going to wrap this up, my beautiful men. And
you know it.
Yeah, you know it. Don't forget, if you miss any of our shows, pop over to our YouTube channel, Parasearch Radio, or archive Parasearch to catch up on all of our past shows with some amazing guests.
And
What?
remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Click,
Boom.
like,
Love
share,
you.
and subscribe.
I
Don't
got it
forget,
first.
come on. You know, got to get it right, Mark. Come on. Oh, my God.
I got the alien link in there as well, so...
And
do that.
remember, listeners, send help to me for tomorrow.
Oh, and also, no, come on, the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Yeah, but my name hasn't. I'm going to Essex. I'm going to Canvey Island. Please send help.
And if you can find them, maybe you could hire
The
the Dark Mirror team.
the Dark Mirror Show.
And on that note, we bid you a very farewell and a good weekend. Don't forget, join me Monday on the Parasearch Radio group page to listen to the live for the show roundup of the week to see what's coming. And there is a competition running at this moment in time on the Parasearch Radio group team. Go over there. You could win tickets to investigate.
Did you know sperm comes out at 30 miles an hour? Neither did Helen Keller.
What?
Hey?
Oh my God. On that note, there is a competition on the Parasearch Radio group page. Go over there, check all the details out. Don't forget, you need to be a liker of the group page. And if you want a chance to win those tickets for the investigation at Warwick Castle, courtesy of entering the unknown.
You've lost
the unknown. Yeah. I'm losing it. I'm so losing it right now.
And Kerry, before you close it,
oh God, are we
the
going to
Dark
talk
Mirror
about
Show
spam again?
next week. What are we talking about?
Next week on the Dark Mirror Show. Oh no!
Go
on, announce it.
Oh no,
Go on,
everybody.
announce it.
Oh, I
Bank
dare.
holiday.
I
This
dare.
is bank holiday. If you're bored on your bank holiday, you've got to listen to this show.
Is that
I
bank
really
holiday
don't
this
need to announce this, but we are talking. Oh God! Oh my! Please, God, no! Conspiracy moon landing. Did we actually do it, or did we not?
I'm sorry, conspiracy what? You went conspiracy...
I believe she said conspiracy theories. Did we actually land on the moon?
I did.
Would you like to do that one for this week, Carl? Do you want to do the research?
I don't think we need to do research on this one because I think we all know it.
There we go. I'll hold the Polaroid.
I think myself and Mark know this.
Yeah,
Kerry might just have to go along with the flow of the show.
No, Kerry has done some freaking research on this already, everybody. Is all I'm going to say. But next week you will have to tune in 9 p.m. on Friday evening to see what Kerry has actually got to say on their moon landings. We are talking all things... we're going into the conspiracy rabbit hole. Is all I'm going
for the next few weeks, people.
For the next few weeks.
Stuff
it. Britches up. We are
theory.
going conspiracy full on craziness.
Oof, I love it when you're forceful. Come on.
Oh my God. And on that note, everybody, say good night.
Good night to everybody in the chat room. Good night to everybody who's listening. And good night to everybody who's my co-host. You have been lovely. And well, nuts for listening to us. You really are. We need a TV show. Boom, drops a mic. We're out of here.
And I would just like to say good night. Thank you very much. Lovely talking to you guys on this lovely Friday evening. I'd like to thank you very much to my fellow hosts, Kerry and Mark, and please send help in Essex tomorrow. Send help.
Your dulcet tones
my mobile number is 077.
All I'm going to say is that was the longest show close ever in history.
Oi.
And on that note, good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.